I know you heard me on the radio. Flexing, she loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K. I know you heard me on the radio. Flexing, she loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K.
Fury fam, Miami Dolphins fans, people from around the world, around the country, around the state of Florida and beyond who share our beloved for that franchise with the Aqua and Orange, who just got back on track with a win with the quarterback who took a little bit of a hit but got back up, kept trying. In fact, he took such a hit and then he decided to run head first into the defense. Whatever. We got a W. Miami Dolphins Nation, I'm here with you. I'm sorry we're late tonight. We are late tonight because I had a crazy day. A very good day, but a crazy day towards the end. It's just how things go sometimes. Nonetheless, I welcome all of you here. I welcome everybody. If you have not yet done so, please click right below this video and smash the like button. If you have not yet done so, go ahead and smash the subscribe button. This is a great channel with a lot of great personalities, a lot of great content, and we love to have Miami Dolphins fans here and present with us. This is the Fury fam. This is what we do. I'm happy we got the win against Pittsburgh, but, you know, it's one of those wins that almost I'm kind of like, I want it to be really, really hyped, and I'm kind of like, eh. Tua, I thought was going to light it up. Tua lit it up early on. Avs, what up? David, what up? Joseph, what up? Adam, what up? Welcome to the show. Now, I was happy as hell when Tua went down the first 3 drives and just looked like he was surgically dissecting all of them. Surgically dissecting them. And it was great. It was a great thing. And Joseph, I live downtown. I live downtown, but I love Down Neck. Down Neck is a great spot, man. Tons of good food. I'm Down Neck a lot, man. Wilson Ave, go to Krug's all the time. Hit Ferry Street all the time. Down Neck is dope. Brasilia is my spot. I'm downtown. But you know, we lose Brandon Jones, which is just like, why? One of our better players for the season now was confirmed. It's just like we're just limping along. And Tua was a little rusty in the second half, man. I thought we should have beat Pittsburgh by a lot more. Then again, I rewatched the game. I saw that Pittsburgh, you know, they were bringing the hammer, laying the wood early and often. I think Pittsburgh really wanted it. They were playing for their defensive coach. They were playing, you know, to get back on track themselves. They had a lot of fans in the buildings. They were making moves. They were doing what they had to do. And so, you know, I'm not putting it all on us, but we do have to polish up some things. We do have to clean up a lot of things. It was nice to have our offensive line back. That was great. You know, I thought that Shell played really well, quite frankly, much better than Little. I'd like to see him a lot more. Obviously, having Armstead back was huge, absolutely huge. And I like that Tua, you know, I kind of respect the dude that he put his head down and went the way he went. But at the end of the day, I mean, we don't need to do all of that, quite frankly. You know, he could take a little bit of heat, could take a little bit of caution. But I guess, you know, he was feeling bold, and that's fine. But I don't want to see Tua out for the year, because if Tua's out for the year, then we're not going to win any games. So you could save that first down, my friend, and stay in the game, because we need you. Long story short, man, we got the Detroit Lions. We have not beaten them since the early 2000s when Nick Saban was the coach. It's not going to be easy. It's on the road, but I think we have a good chance. The Jets play the Pats. A lot of moving and shaking going on in the AFC and the AFC East. We gotta polish it up. With the secondary hurt the way it is, it was nice to see Noah come out the way he did, and I saw Noah get a game ball. If you haven't seen the celebration, and I see Greg in the back of the studio celebrating already. If you haven't seen the celebration, the locker room celebration, I encourage you to go check it out, man. It was awesome. Noah was out there, got some props. If that kid hits his stride, and if Noah can really start doing well for the team, for the franchise, it's huge for us long term. But our secondary's hurting, man. Byron's not coming back this week. It's confirmed. We need Byron to come back at some point because his secondary's hurting. And how how far is this team going to go as far as contending? It really hurts that we got bitten by this injury bug so badly. I think what it's going to come down to is, can this offense put up points, and can this offense do what it needs to do and be as electrifying and as dominant as we know it has the potential to be? Because we're going to need the offense to be that dominant, and we're going to need the offense to be that electrifying if we want to make up for the injury bug and the deficiencies that we have on the defensive side of the ball. That's what I'm thinking. That's where I'm at. Without further ado, I'm going to bring in, Shake Hefner, the one, the only, and I'm going to bring in Greg, and then we're going to go through our little thing, and then we got a special guest tonight. So let me bring these two characters on because they're very excited to get on right now. Let me bring them on. Shake Hefner, Greg, what up, fellas? How you guys doing, man? How you feeling?
Doing great.
That is great. I appreciate you guys holding out with me while I was a little bit late today, man, but you're both with me, which is what the people want, so here we are, man. Here we are. So, first and foremost, I'm gonna give it to Shake, then I'm gonna give it to Greg, man. I wanna get your thoughts on the game and everything, the state of the Miami Dolphins curve. Here's what we're gonna call it. When you guys come on, we're gonna call it, what's your thoughts on the state of the Dolphins? State of the Dolphins on a Wednesday, meaning the last game, the game coming up, state of the Dolphins in general. Shake, go ahead.
Look, at the end of the day, there's some improvements need to be made, but the saying goes, Rome wasn't built in a day, and at the end of the day, I think that at the end of the day, look, I know we didn't win by much, but one thing I brought up today, a loss is a loss and a win is a win. Those losses, no matter how you slice it, how you dice it, were lost. This win, no matter how you slice it, how you dice it, it's a win. This isn't college football. Now, I'm a Gators fan. Now, had the Gators beaten a team like Appalachian State by 3 points, I'll be pissed because, dude, you're playing Appalachian State and you only hung up. But, dude, this is the pros, bro. You get the best of the best. So at the end of the day, man, a win is a win. So I'm going to enjoy it with the cigar. I'm not going to pop a champagne, but I am drinking this jalapeno margarita mix. So
This
on
dude
the rocks,
out,
baby.
Dude comes out. I love how he just comes out. He's got the Dolphin logo robe. He's got the cigar. He's got the glasses. But then he's got the jalapeno mix on the rocks. But he doesn't just say it like it's some He's like, I got the jalapeno mix, and y'all gonna like it. I mean, he just knows. He just knows what's good. That's Shake Hefner, man. And the thing I like about winning, one of the best things about winning is you get Shake Hefner. You know what I'm saying? You don't just get Shake money. You guys Shake Hefner and everything it entails when we win. And I like where he's at vibe-wise right now. Greg, what's your thoughts on the state of the Dolphins?
Man, the only thing that worries me, I get it, Tua just came back, he's got to shake out the rust, but this offense is going to be worrying me a little bit because especially with our defense banged up, that's another thing I'm going to get into in a minute. But this offense has only been putting up, outside of that Baltimore game, 20 points a game, and that's going to be worrisome when we're playing teams that are on the weaker end, but Detroit, they got a good offense. But they're weak. We got the Texans. I mean, I don't call the Texans the Browns. I mean, we got Jacoby Brissett. But they're not – like, any of these teams are not pushovers. They got, like the Browns, they got offense even though they got Brissett. The Bears, I mean, they're the Bears. I mean, they just beat the Patriots. But yeah, but the second half against the Bills, the Packers, the Chargers, and all these offensive teams, we're going to have to put up our offense. This defense, man, we're just getting bit by the injury bug. Brandon Jones done for the year, I think I heard. Byron Jones might be done as well. But hey, it's all good. We got Noah Igbenogany, bro. We got him. He's gonna be shutting down that side with Xavier Howard, man. So that should be good. But yeah, we'll see what happens but our defense just needs to get healthy. Maybe trade for people.
Well, I you know what I liked? I saw we worked out a couple like free agent DBs, so that was good. We don't even have to give anybody up to get some of these guys. I just wanna can we marvel in the vibe of this man right here? I mean, look at this cat. Like, he's just chilling, and I want his energy because his energy is like, yo, we won, we beat a team that's not easy to beat, and I'm just gonna celebrate it right now. And I like that. And so because you even on here right now, bro, we're just gonna go right into your segment.
The good, the bad, the ugly.
Shake, tell us, bro.
the good, no Igbenogany, with this game-saving, win-saving game. I want to say game-changing interception. Let me put it that way. That is the good. Finally, Noah is hitting his stride, and I like the direction he's going. The bad, calling the same play, third and then fourth down. That's bad.
Yes.
Bad play calling. Look, I like McDaniels and everything, and I think he's going to be a good coach down the line, but those two plays that he called on third and fourth down were bad. And the ugly are Tom Brady, Matt Ryan, and freaking Aaron Rodgers, that all three took L's. Look like Father Time is killing three birds with one stone, bro.
I like
That's
you,
my
bro.
ugly.
You're right. You're right, bro. You're right, Shake. You're right, man. And there's a lot to be said for a lot of that stuff. I don't understand. Like, not only was Tua a little rusty, bro, but McDaniels was a little like rusty or just a little bit like off or whatever. Like, you're gonna go for it on fourth down. I'm not necessarily against it, but don't put Edmonds as the running back and then don't run it the same exact play you just ran it in when it's a terrible play in general. It wasn't working. Like, bro, what's going on with that? Like, and by the way, can Gaskin get some love? Can Gaskin get a ball or two just to show what he could do? Because what are we even doing right now without Gaskin getting a little bit of work? Let's be real. But I don't wanna just harp on my thoughts and this and that. We got a special guest in the building right now, man, and I'm gonna hand it over to Hef himself to kind of introduce this cat, because this is a cat a lot of people should know if you don't know him already. But I'm gonna give the floor to Hef and let him introduce this special guest.
All right. You see this? What this is? Can you tell me what this is?
That is a quarter, sir.
Okay, now
Cool.
quarters have two sides, heads and tails.
Yes.
One side isn't better than the other. One side isn't more valuable than the other. The only difference is they're just different. They're just different shapes on different sides of the coin. Correct?
Yes. That correct.
And I say that to say this: if you ever watch TD's film and that breakdown analysis, he tells you one side, and the man we're about to talk to next, he gives you the other side. Like I said, not one is not better than the other. They're just different sides of one coin. This man played tight end for Howard University. He's a coach. When I first heard him, I said, damn, I like his analysis and the way he breaks films down. I'm introduced the one and the only CB83.
All right. We're going to bring him in right now.
Hey, what's up, guys? Yo, what's cracking?
I like that audio, bro. I like that setup, too. What's up, kid? How you doing?
Good, man. How you doing, man? How do I sound? I sound good?
You sound
Great, man. By the way, thank you for coming by, my brother.
Of course, man. It's always a pleasure to get up here and talk some Dolphins, man. Larry K, Shake, Greg, I love what you guys do, man. Always.
Thank you, bro. It's much appreciated. Much appreciated. So you played for Howard, he said.
Yeah, man. I actually just got back from homecoming a couple of days ago. So I got back Sunday night. I was actually on the plane watching the game. And then I got home like right as we were kind of like 3 to 4 minutes left in the game, and I was watching the game, kind of finished it up. But man, just glad Noah made a play late and we were able to seal that win off, man. That was a big play and just a big opportunity for him. So I love that he made that play, man. It just gives him that confidence going into next game. And just, and that's what it's about, man. Just guys playing, getting comfortable, and just gaining that confidence to make plays, man. That's what we need.
100%, that's what we need. And I think with the secondary as banged up as it is, Noah having confidence and having the confidence to know that, once in a while he can, when you're a young kid, a lot of times playing a sport or you're new to the game, you get in your head a lot of times, I find, he's got to get out of his head. He's been playing better. Maybe that gives him some confidence to just let loose, and just his physical ability's there. He's fast, he's big. Maybe he can play like within himself and maybe make an impact, because we're going to need it.
Yeah, we're really going to need it. And when you're playing football, it's easy to lose that confidence. You miss a couple plays, you get a couple penalties, and you're like, damn, like what am I doing? I can't figure it out. But there's times too where the light bulb it flips on, and it's like, oh, I can do this. I'm confident in my ability. And that's what these guys need, man. They're young. A lot of guys on our team are young. They just need that ability to go out there and play, man. And that's what I like about this team, man. We got some good talent. We're banged up right now, but we'll be better off as a result of these young guys getting some go, early on in the season.
No, it makes a ton of sense. And I think something we sometimes tend to forget is, especially now that we're older, is that these guys in the NFL field are young. I mean, a lot of these guys are still developing as young people and young men while they're learning the game. And we put so much emphasis because they're professionals and because, there's so much fanfare. We sometimes forget that developmental factor. And I think that makes sense. Can you speak to that at all, since you're a coach and you were a player at a high level in college and,
Yeah, I mean, it's just like when you look at a freshman coming into high school, he's raw. He doesn't understand the game typically. They're just behind, and they got a lot of catching up to do physically, mentally, in every aspect of the game. So that's what these rookies are coming into. They're literally coming into a game where, some of them have the physical ability, like they can run fast, they're strong. But if you're not mentally capable of like figuring out, you're playing a step behind everybody. You're playing a step slower. You're going to be weaker because you don't know what to do in certain areas. So it just and the Dolphins community, it's like a microwave community. The Dolphins fan base. It's like they want everything right now. They want to win right now. They want a rookie head coach to take them to the Super Bowl. It's like there's got to be some give and take. Like you got to take the good with the bad, and you got to understand that, hey, this NFL season can be a roller coaster. But if you just kind of find a way to win games and get by, you're in a good shape. You're in pretty good shape.
And let me ask you this, bro, because you mentioned something about like a rookie head coach taking us to the Super Bowl, and I think that's obviously, I think somebody said that early in our predictions preseason Super Bowl, and I said, come on, you got to slow your roll. But to what extent though, with the talent on the roster and a roster that was already competitive, not a playoff contender per se, but a 500 team.
Yeah.
What should the expectations be for somebody like McDaniel to come in and take this roster? What should we want to see from him, and what should the expectation be for somebody like that? What's the benchmark?
Now, when you benchmark it, now an NFL season is kind of funny. I mean, there's a lot of games to be played. There's also, you got to take into consideration injuries. Now, no injury. Let's say nobody got injured and we were healthy all season. I think we'd be, a 13, 12 win team easily. We could go to a division championship, but you still got to take into consideration things happen throughout the season. Like the adversity comes and it's like, damn, like what do we do now? How do we plug and play guys? How do we switch the roster around? How do we figure it out? And that's what he's learning as a head coach. Like in this position now is like, hey, I got to figure out how to handle this adversity because this is going to help me not only now, but in the future, as I grow into my coaching, my philosophy and how I approach the game. So, I mean, I think realistically, the Dolphins can expect a couple more wins than last year. I mean, I think that's fair. Right. So, I mean, this is a 10 and 11 win team. I think hands down, no doubt, 10 and 11 win team at the least. Now, at the best, if we're healthy throughout the season and nobody's hurt, we've already dealt with adversity. I mean, we lost our starting quarterback for 3 games. We went down to our 3rd string quarterback. We came back to our 2nd string quarterback. I've never seen anything happen like this ever in my life in regards to NFL at the quarterback position.
Yes.
It's crazy. Yes. So we've already dealt with a lot of adversity, and we're only in week 8? We're going into week 8.
Yes.
It's like it's a lot. So you just kind of, you take the good with the bad. I think this is a good team. I think we can see that even with all the guys banged up we have, we're still finding a way to win games. So
that makes sense. And so I was thinking about this the other day too, because I was like, I really want to gauge McDaniel. I really want to look at him, but you can't help but be realistic and look at the injuries and the adversity. And you can't not take that into account as much as you might want to for desperation. Like, I don't care. You just can't stack the deck against somebody like that and not take it into account. It's just true. So I wanted to ask you this now. So from a standpoint of, again, I think it's interesting to have somebody on who's played ball at a high level and who's a current coach, who breaks down film and whatnot. I thought, going into the season, I was a little bit skeptical of whether or not, Tua was going to be that guy and Tua was going to ball out. But I was giving him the chance to see if he could. Now, the first 3 games, and I would say the Pats game wasn't the most impressive, but you put the body of work together, and it was still good enough. The second 2 games were kind of make you grab your seat, like that meme with the old RCA commercial. You're blown away. It's like, wow, this guy's really coming on. And now he got hurt. Now he came, and he looked sharp early in Cincy. He gets hurt. He comes back. I thought the first couple drives he looked very sharp. Maybe he looked a little rusty later on. What have you seen from Tua as far as a developmental standpoint on film early in the season? Maybe a little rust last game. How are you feeling generally about his trajectory and everything that's occurred this season?
Well, I always thought Tua was capable of playing well. So, I always looked at the context of it. Hey, the O-line hasn't been good. The running backs haven't pass blocked well. They haven't ran well. They haven't ran behind a good offensive line. The receivers were always hurt. He never could get camaraderie with guys. So I thought, hey, he's played pretty good so far. Mm-hmm. Now, coming into this next year, you had Tyreek. You add pieces on the O-line. You add Teron Armstead. You add Connor Williams. I knew he'd play better for sure. Right. I'm like, hey, you're in a better position. You're going to have a better offensive system around you. You're going to be able to make more plays. So going into game 1 and coming out of game 1, I thought he played decent. He played efficient. He was efficient with the football. He didn't turn the ball over. He was good enough for us to win the game, and we never felt like we were threatened in the game. We never felt like Tua had to go out there and force something or make a play to win the game. Right?
Yes.
So that was game 1. Game 2, Baltimore, right? Mm-hmm. So we go into Baltimore. We have a terrible first half. Tua throws a pick. Defense is just playing poorly. They're not stopping Lamar. They can't figure it out. And, I'm like, hey, man, bro, it's up to you now. You just got to come out and play well the second half and figure it out. Mm-hmm. This is adversity. You're dealing with it. Let's see how you bounce back. He comes back. He plays well, really well.
Yes.
And extremely well. Right?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
So he plays extremely well. And it's like, man, I knew you were capable of doing this. And I've always said, hey, you're capable of having these type of games. You just gotta find it and put it together. And you gotta have some play calling that helps you out a little bit. Yes. The play calling can help you out a little bit, get some guys open, scheme some guys open. It'll work out for you. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened in Baltimore. He was able to make the plays. The Buffalo game, I felt like, hey, he was efficient. That's all you could do. You could be efficient. You cannot lose your team the game. You can help, move the ball down the field. And I think Tua is finally getting comfortable. He's finally coming into his own. He's growing into this offense. And I think, what we saw Sunday was just a rust. It's if you don't play for 3 weeks, it's going to be a little bit difficult for you to just come out and just hit on every single thing. And especially when the defense is good. We can't underestimate the defenses we've played so far. Pittsburgh's a good team. They played the Pats tough last week, but the week before they played us. So, I think you can never underestimate that. But I think Tua's in a good position. I think, as he gets more comfortable, as he continues to learn in this offense, and him and Mike McDaniels figure it out together, will be, in a much better position.
That makes sense. And actually, I think, Buffalo, I thought, maybe efficient early on. I think that the precise passes deep he threw in the second half, especially after getting shaken up, were very impressive. I would even call it more than efficient. But I want to ask you this. We've been seeing, this stat. And early on, a lot of people poo-pooed it, and even me here and there, like, look, the defense is playing really good. All he's got to do is dink and dunk, which I hate some of these cliche terms, but dink and dunk. And now we're starting to see, though, bro. They're 4-0 this year when he starts and finishes a game. Their record when he plays over the last couple seasons is a really winning record by a large margin. As somebody who breaks down film, is interested in film, is there something to be said at this juncture? Like, I'm not comparing him skill set wise or anything to this guy, Chad Pennington, but I'm saying there are quarterbacks in this league who just win. and they don't necessarily win flashy, but they win. Is there something on film? Is there some type of skill set or pattern that you're seeing? Is there something to this thing that Tua just wins? And is there something he does when in the game, even if not flashy, that helps his team win games that you're seeing that's evident on the film? And if so, what is it?
I think he's just really efficient with the football. And I think Tua's he's the type of quarterback that's never going to lose you the game. And I think that's a really important concept. Like, if we really look back on him as a Dolphin in his career, we could point to maybe one, maybe 2 games where he really just played poorly. But I don't think he's ever like really single-handedly lost us a game by playing poorly. Right. And there's a lot of quarterbacks in this league who you can say, hey, that game you threw 3 interceptions. You just couldn't figure it out that game. He's never really done that. And I think him just being efficient with the football and knowing where to go and knowing how to hit the short stuff underneath is just really helps us. Because honestly, people will complain about the points scored and things like that, but we're probably a top 10 offense yards wise and efficiency wise.
Gotta be.
This year as a result of just being able to move the ball up and down the field. Now I know Pittsburgh, we struggle, but you're gonna have games like that where you just, the defense is on your ass and you can't figure it out. I mean, that's the chess game that the coaches play back and forth. So I mean, it happens, and I think that's the thing about Tua. He's never going to lose you the game. I think he's going to be efficient. I think he's going to find a way to get his guys the ball. He's just got to continue to make good decisions. You can't make those bad decisions where you're costing your team by almost throwing a pick or throwing a pick. Like you can't do that. Don't put the ball in the hands of the other team, and we'll be fine. And we'll be fine.
If I want to say something too, is a lot of people don't realize the human element of the game. Like his rookie year, one of the reasons why it was bad for him to start is because they put him in the role and the team rallied around Fitzpatrick, and that put a sour taste in their mouth. Just like now, they have a camaraderie with Tua, so they're going to get behind Tua. One of the big examples that I saw today was when they asked Roquan Smith how they felt about Quinn being traded. He had to walk out of the press conference because he was choked up that he had to say goodbye to his teammate. So that tells you right there the bond and the trust they have with one another starting the season.
Right. And so
yeah, I'm with you on that, man. And you can tell in the offseason with Tyreek and the way Tyreek was hyping him up. I mean, they have a special relationship. Him and Waddle have a really special relationship. You can see with that connection on the field that, since Alabama, they've been rocking. So I think that's the difference in us, winning and losing is having Tua on the field, man, honestly.
And let me ask you this though too, because I don't necessarily take what you're saying as giving him a ceiling. I mean, I think that's the floor. Like the floor with this young man is that you're not going to lose games. But what we saw in Baltimore, I mean, isn't this a guy who could maybe not every game, but maybe somebody who, he's not going to lose it for you, but he could go above and beyond sometimes too. And that's the promise that we all as Dolphins fans saw here and there in certain games and want to see consistently. I think we saw it in Baltimore and against the Bills.
Yeah, and that's some of the flashes we saw like in, his first couple years. Like I thought the Arizona game he played was fantastic. He was super efficient. He kind of hit on everything. And looking back at that game, the play calling was good. You hit your mismatches, you figured it out. You use the screen game, you use the entire field. So I think he's shown flashes, and I think he's always done that. And that's always been my take. He's shown that he could be a good player. And I always said too, hey, Tua could have a few 400-yard games this year. I mean, because he has the ability to do it. It's just whether or not like defenses are going to give it to him or he's going to be able to take it from defenses and they're going to be able to figure it out offensively. But I mean, the dude's capable of doing really anything that any other quarterback in the league does outside of the super athletic guys like Patrick Mahomes and stuff like that. Like you won't see him do a lot of that stuff, but from the pocket, he's a good passer, and he can chunk it around. And I think we saw that at Alabama, and that's why people were so high on him as a college prospect. Coming out of there, because he was that dude in college, and I think people forget that he really was that dude in college. Every week when you turned on the highlights, it was Tua Tagovailoa, super efficient, 400 yards, 6 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns. He chunked it around the yard. So as long as you give him the weapons and the time, he'll get it there.
Makes sense. So let me ask you this, since you again with the film aspect, it's cool to have somebody who knows the X's and O's a little better. But what does this team need to do as far as X's and O's, as far whether it's offense, defense, offensive line, receipt, whatever it is, to get to those 11 wins, 10 wins you think they're capable of, which I think puts us in position to make a run for a playoff spot. What do they need to concentrate on? What do they need to continue to do well, and what do they need to improve upon to get us there? Because they've got a soft, I say soft lightly because no team's soft in the NFL, but soft schedule the next 6 games. And it gets pretty tough in December. And we're also a warm weather team. We're going to have to travel a little. What do we have to do that you've seen looking through the film of this team so far this season? What do we have to keep doing? What do we have to stop doing, et cetera, to get there?
I'm a firm believer in trench play. So I think up front, like defensive front, offensive front, like we just gotta be a lot more physical. Like we gotta dominate up front. If we can dominate up front, then we won't have an issue getting to those 11, 10 wins. But if we're getting pushed around and we're soft in there, it's gonna be rough. Like as a team, we gotta be able to stop the run, and we gotta be able to run the football. Like we gotta figure out that run game, because if we're running the ball, and you can see it when we're running the ball well, we can figure it out passing wise. We can get guys the ball, and that's why I like Mostert running the ball. Man, he runs hard. He gets good yardage. I mean, we had 100-yard rusher this year. I mean, it took us 14, 15 games to get a 100-yard rusher last year.
Yeah.
So I think, man, if you continue to run the ball up front, be physical, drive guys off the ball, and figure out the offensive line, and defensively be more physical. Like our linebackers, they got to be better. Like they got to be dogs in the middle. They got to be willing to stick their nose in there and make plays, man.
That makes sense. But what do you seen anything about Mostert that just makes him that much better? Is he just hitting holes better? His vision's better? Is it the burst?
I think it's just his vision and his burst, man. I think his Edmonds is just a little stiff in the hips, man. Mostert he's got that track speed. So and he's a little bit more shifty than Edmonds, which is crazy. So he has more straight line speed, and I feel like he's more shifty. Like he can move his hips a little bit better than Edmonds can. Edmonds a bit stockier and things like that. But Mostert's he's a small, kind of compact guy, but he's also just super fast. And I've talked to San Francisco fans, and they're like, yo, Mostert's a top 5 running back when he's healthy. Like the dude really can run all over the place. He can run all over the yard when he's healthy. And that's what we've seen so far. Like the dude just gets skinny and he can move in those spaces. Some dudes are just really good at that. And I think that's what he does well, man.
Makes sense.
Well, this is one of my concerns.
Hold on. So I was going to say this. Okay, I pride myself on interviews, because I do other podcasts and other stuff. So that was my little interview with him, and I think it went pretty well. Got to showcase his thing. I'm gonna hand it to Shake and then Greg to interview our guest, and then I'm gonna bring panel dudes on. I'm gonna bring panel dudes on one at a time.
And I want to hear y'all takes too, man, because I'm here to listen too. I'm here to learn also, man.
We're gonna get the panel popping. I just want to showcase you a little bit. You know what I mean?
Larry.
Coming on. No, it's okay.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I just want to showcase you, bro, and get you, out here and kind of hear your take, because it's a different take, and Shake brought you on. But go ahead, Shake, and go ahead, Greg, man. Fire away, and then we're going to bring the panel on.
Like I said, the one thing that concerns me as far as this offense, you look at Tyreek Hill, he has 730 yards. Good, right? Waddle with 621. But you look at the next receiver is Sherfield with 131, and the second next receiver that gets yards is the tight end, and he barely has 197. So that tells you right there that they're only targeting 2 guys. Hopefully they'll start spreading the ball around, because at the end of the day, it seems like if they eliminate those 2 targets, You know what I'm saying? It's, you know what I mean? Offense ain't
And
sputtering.
and honestly, I mean, when you look at it, like how many teams can go out there and shut down two guys? Like literally shut down two number one receivers because they're both Tyreek and Waddle are number one receivers. Like on any other team, I mean, they could be number ones. Like how many teams can shut down two number ones on any given Sunday? It's just difficult to do. And if Tyreek's not eating, it's usually Waddle eating or Gesicki, and that's what we got to do. We got to find a way to get Gesicki involved and find a way to get the guys, the Sherfields of the world, the River Craycrafts. They got to get involved too. But I mean, it's just going to be difficult for teams to shut down Waddle and Tyreek. I mean, you only got so many guys in the secondary.
Yes. And makes a lot of sense. That's why I thought from jump when you started seeing Hill get a lot of balls early in the season, and all of a sudden Waddle had this emergence and just his burst of plays. That's the reason. And there's only so much you can do. Yeah.
It's complimentary. Yeah. It's definitely.
I'm not complaining. I got both of them on my fantasy, so.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Oh, you're eating?
Yeah, he's eating well. So, Greg, you got any thoughts about? First of all, what jersey you rocking right there, bro?
Oh, Javon Holland.
Okay,
yeah,
I like
bro,
that.
I like that a lot.
But I'm probably gonna have to get a new. As soon as we win a playoff game, I may have to go buy my Noah jersey.
Damn.
There you go.
Shoot,
okay. Go ahead and get it now. Get it now, man. Get it now.
Oh, I gotta wait till we gotta win a playoff game first.
Yeah, no, I always said that. I'm not buying any merchandise till we win at least one playoff game. I got plenty of merchandise now. I need to win a playoff game. I need this organization to do me a solid. Win one this year or next year. I think next year. I think we could do it this year, but it all depends how this adversity shakes out, these injuries. But next year, yeah, I mean, but
this year, this year's the year, bro.
Yeah.
This year's the year. Don't worry about it, bro. We can win one this year.
I hope so.
Yeah, man. Hey, and look at Cap in the comments.
I know, you got Cap in here. You got people in here. So I'm gonna
bring what's up? What's cracking?
I'm gonna bring Mountie and Phil on. So Phil. What up, bro? I like you front and center with the Dolphins logo. What up, bro? How you doing, man?
How's it going, my guys?
Phil, what's up, man?
Good to be on. Before I say anything else, I just want to showcase my life-size merino in the background.
I like it.
I like it. Yeah.
So it's one of my prize collections.
Dope.
Anyways, the first thing I want to talk about tonight is I want to hear what everybody thinks about Tua lowering his head and running into that freaking linebacker. I mean,
Devin Bush.
Yeah,
and welcome, Mountie. How are you tonight, sir?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Hey, what's going on, y'all? What's up, CB? Hey, CB. Hey, CB.
Hold on, Shake. What's up? Shake, what up? Why you puff that cigar, sir? What up?
Go ahead, Monty Fins. Go ahead. My bad. Oh yeah. One thing I'm gonna say real quick is I think Tua did that is because he's tired of this. He's a soft narrative. He's fragile. I think he wanted to make a statement with that putting his head down, bro.
I can see it.
My rebuttal to that is this: not to start off my commentary with something kind of negative, but for him to identify what his deficiencies are as far as not throwing the ball away, not sliding, not getting on the ground, and for him to come out and take on Devin Bush, like, dude, what are you doing? Like, I like Tua a lot, but he frustrates me. He makes me angry.
I mean, but you gotta, Mountie, I get what you're saying, but you gotta realize this, right? So if you're a football player and you've been playing football your whole life, right? So you've been playing from the high school level to the college level. You've been getting hit a long time. It's never really physically bothered you getting hit, right? And then there's a span of games where you get hit a couple of times, and it's like, damn, am I too fragile for football now? Like, is it over for me? Like that's what people are saying. Hey, I might need to retire and not play football anymore. When you get into a football game and you get the opportunity to say, hey, let's see if I can really still play, or let's see if I got this. I can't play scared, because if I play scared, I'm gonna always be in my head every damn day. Every day I go out, I'm gonna be in my head about, oh, I'm gonna get hit and fall. Bro, you can't be scared to play in the NFL. If you're gonna get hit either way, so you better take it head on. And that's what I respected about that. It's like, hey, bro, let us know now if you're not the guy. Let us know on this play versus Devin Bush, when you get hit and you get knocked out, just let us know you can't play football anymore, and we can move on and we can figure it out from there. But he said, hey, I'm gonna take it head on. I'm a warrior. I play football. This is what I do, man. So I gotta respect that. I'm not gonna tell him, hey, run out of bounds bro. You're not gonna be able to run out of bounds every damn time. You're not gonna be able to avoid every sack.
No.
So you gotta do it, bro.
So
you gotta get hit.
So I'll say this, and I'm gonna turn it over to Mountie in a second. I get why he did it first time. He said, I just needed that. The second time to prove to himself, to prove to us. But he better be smart and not do that anymore, because he's going to cost us some wins.
And I'm with that. I'm with that too.
Yeah, but he can't. But he also understand it takes one bad hit for him to take a concussion, for him to get a concussion. Now, with the concussion protocols that the league has adapted now, they're so airtight now. They see him stumble. They see him look disoriented. Now they gotta pull him. Now he puts us in harm's way.
But we know that he's not the guy. If that's the case right now, the way this season has gone and he's been hurt twice, bro, if it happens again, we know, hey, Tua is just too fragile at this point to play for us, because we can't have a quarterback who's going to be out 5 to 6 games a year. It's just it's not going to do us any good.
Good point. And I want to hear Phil now, because Phil kind of brought this up. Phil, the floor is yours.
So for me, the big disconnect is, he spends all this time. He did his press conferences. He says, I got to be smarter. When the play's dead, I got to let the play die. I don't need to take unnecessary hits. He sounds like he's learned something. And then he gets on the field, and the first opportunity he has, he could have slid and not taken a big hit. But no, he lowers his head. He's not even looking at that guy running headfirst into his chest. At some point, that is really going to cost him. He has got to figure out to let the plays die. He has got to figure out how to slide. All the good quarterbacks slide. He's got to figure it out.
I think he knows how to slide. Do it. He just didn't want to, bro. I agree with everybody's points here. I think I get it for that game. I get it when a certain play, the second play, I do understand. You're a yard away. I get it, but he also has to be smarter. Tom Brady, I used to make fun of him for just falling. Tua needs to just fall sometimes when they're coming at him. But sometimes he's going to lower his head. And like CB saying, bro, if he gets hurt, just lowering it again, 2 or 3, then we got our answer. So, I hear everybody on this. I think all of us as fans understand why he's got to do it sometimes. Don't want to see him do it a lot of times, and just hope that it works out. I think we all got good points on that. Now, I do want to just bring in John, because John was in here. He had some words for CB. I want, CB and him can discuss. John's coming in. I'm going to bring him on the stream and give him the floor for a minute. And I'm going to let, if he talks to CB, I want to give CB time to respond, so that everybody hang in. I'll get everybody on. I like this little new tool I found where I could highlight you guys, put you on the screen by yourself. So give me my thing and I'll let you all shine. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. So cool. So John, what up, bro? What's going on, man?
Hey, man, good to have me on. CB, boy, I've been hearing you talk about Tua for months and months, and I see you. So you're out there, you're in the community, people are listening to you, as am I. But I really disagree with basically your love for him. It's just gone completely overboard. Never do I ever hear you talk about the defense that's standing behind Tua. When Russell Wilson started out as a rookie, he had a hell of a defense behind him, and everybody knew it was the LOB, okay? And when the Seahawks would win, it was because the LOB and that defense. And for some reason, we got it all twisted over here. And whenever the Dolphins win, based on the back of the defense, Tua gets all the credit. And then when we lose the games, the defense is getting all the blame and Tua's getting off the hook. And you're part of that, CB. So, I don't get the Tua love. It seems completely unconditional. So, yeah, I'm coming at you with it, man. And I don't get it.
All right.
All right,
So
hold on.
just
CB, I'm gonna
can
put
I
you on.
respond?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So so you said the first thing you said was like you don't get my love for him. First of all, he's a Miami Dolphins quarterback, and I'm a fan of my team. So as a fan of my team, I don't coach the team, I don't work for the team, I don't do any of that. But as a fan of my team, I support my quarterback. Even when Ryan Tannehill was here, I would take Ryan Tannehill over. I would argue about Ryan Tannehill all the time about how he's a good quarterback, but he just needs some help around him. He needs a better system, and he'll be fine. Now he's in Tennessee, and guess what? Better system, better team around him. He was a perennial playoff contender. I mean, on a team like that. So that's always going to be my take in regards to my quarterback. If I look at a quarterback and I think he's good enough to get it done, then I'm going to support him. I feel like he's good enough to get it done. So that's the first part of that. I'm a fan, so that's why I love my quarterback. I'm a Dolphins fan. That's first, right?
I respect that.
So you also said, hey, the wins are Tua's getting the praise for the wins. I never give anybody praise for wins, whether it's offense or defense, right? I just say, hey, we won the game. I don't say, hey, Tua won the game. I don't say the defense won the game. I say we won the game. Now, there may be games where defense carries offense. There's games where the offense carries the defense. I know that. Sometimes there's games where all three phases play great. We haven't seen that yet from us. But I'm always going to be fair in regards to that. I'm never going to give Tua any praise for winning a game if he hasn't done it on the field offensively. And if the offense is struggling, I'm never giving him the win for that. But if they win as a result of his play or as a result of him being efficient, I gotta say, hey, he played well enough for us to win. I think that's fair. And I think people kind of get caught up in the CB83 loves Tua. I love all the players on the team. I just talk about the quarterback because that's what everybody else wants to talk about. And that's usually the conversations we have to have all the time.
All right, so now, John, I want to hear. Do you have an example of a time he did this, or because everything CB said makes perfect sense, but if you got an I want to, and if there's a game, maybe he has a reason why,
On this very stream, CB said that he cannot blame Tua for any loss that we've had, and it's hard for me to pull out the number of games that I can look at Tua and
just
say
pull out one. Just pull out one.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so now hold on, and I just want to make sure we're on the same context here. So let me just put my 2 cents. I took what he said as we never had a game where he threw like 3 picks in our own end and we lost. Now, John, to your point, I was going to bring up to him Tennessee where Tua missed a lot of throws. Is that the same?
Yeah, I know. I do.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
That's okay.
All right.
But I'm gonna let. But so in the Tennessee game, did he miss throws? Did that cost us one way or the other? I'm just trying to make sure we're in the same arena. But I hear you. But John, finish, and I'll let him respond.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's an example of the Tua love. It was we couldn't fault him for a single loss in all of his starts. We couldn't put a single one on him, and I disagree with that. Granted, it's a team sport, all right, and the team wins and the team loses together. But there are individual performances that will determine the outcome of games, and the quarterback is very crucial. And if you have a winning quarterback, you could overcome a lot of deficiencies. Okay, so my opinion is Tua has lost us. I don't think he's the quarterback that you think he is, CB, and I think he has contributed to. Well, frankly, he has lost games for us, and that's where I'm at.
Do you have a game? All right, CB, go ahead.
He said Tennessee, which is fair, but I'm not going to say Tua lost us that game. I think the defense played poorly. I think Tua played poorly. I think everybody played poorly. It's not like we dominated defensively and the offense couldn't score points. That's not the case. I mean, we gave up points. So, and this is another thing, right?
Well, CB, Tennessee, they didn't really start. They didn't really start scoring until the fourth quarter. Like our defense was playing decent, just to be honest.
All right,
that is true.
Our defense was. They kept us in the game early. They wear down though.
We needed Tua in that game. Tua could have been the X factor, and he wasn't.
But just to be fair to CB, did he lose us the game by not? I don't know. I'm just trying to make sure everybody stays on.
Did he single-handedly lose us the game?
I mean, Josh Allen threw a lot of dirt balls in our Week 3 win, and we took that victory, right? But he threw some dirt balls, and you all seen it. Could have won the game.
But did Josh lose the game for them?
Did he lose the game for them?
He very well. I actually think he did lose the game because he had some open wide receivers in the end zone, and he dirted at least 2 different balls that could have sealed the game. So, yeah, I think Josh Allen lost that game, frankly.
So that might be just a difference in philosophy, which is fine. Like, John, that's valid. Like, he missed a throw in the end zone, Josh. And if you're looking at a game that dynamic from that perspective, and you're going to say he lost it because he missed throws, and if you're going to say Tua missed throws. Now, I don't know if Tua missed anybody in the end zone, but he did miss first downs. He did. Sure. If you're looking at it that way, and CB's, I'm kind of looking at it the way initially CB was looking at it. Like, he didn't make mistakes that cost us points on the, like, maybe it's just a different perspective, but CB respond.
But see, and that's what I just wrote. Just real quick, and you said the quarterback position. You said it's the ultimate team sport, right? So football is a team sport, right?
Yes.
Now, it's easy for us to say, "Oh, he played poorly" and things like that. It's easy for us to say that at the quarterback position, but a lot of times fans don't take into consideration, like, hey, what else played poorly around him? Like, and people say, oh, Tua hasn't been consistent. Like, this was before this year. It was the gripe on Tua was he's not consistent. He can't throw deep. He can't throw the intermediate routes, and
he can't stay healthy.
He can't stay healthy. Yeah, that's one of them. So all of these are the gripes with Tua. Now we get into this season where he's been consistent at times, and everything's consistent around him. Like, the offensive line is playing better. The running backs are running better. The receivers are running better routes and catching balls. The offense is better. The scheme fits what he wants to do. So I think you say, he's not good enough. And, I love him so much, but the dude's been consistent. When there's consistent play around him, he can play good football. I mean, I think you can't disagree with that. When people are playing good around him, he could be a guy that wins us games. Now, is he Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady? Maybe not. Maybe he's not that guy. But when you look at Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers right now, they're pissed off because their team around them isn't playing very well. And they're shitting the bed also. So I think you got to look at some context in regards to what's around these players and take that into consideration instead of just saying, hey, this guy's bad or this guy isn't good enough. Hey, why isn't he good enough? Why isn't he able to make those plays? I think that's important.
No, you're right.
And by the way, I just want to say one thing real quick to John and CB83. This is the perfect, in my opinion, the best way you do Discord. It's all the arguments have been strictly football, no personal attacks, no talking over one another. I love it, man. You guys are awesome, and I think this is how football should be debated.
This is how everything should be debated, by the way. Everything. That's why I take pride in this. I take pride in this channel, okay? I take pride in it. Now, Phil, I know you're going to say something, so I want to give you the floor, and then I'll go back to John because CB made a lot of points. And if John has something to say, I'll go to John. But I think we almost had a meeting of the minds. Let's see. Phil.
Yeah, so circling back to John's point, I think the reason that the Tennessee game in particular is so frustrating, it's not that necessarily that Tua lost us the game, but that was the biggest game of the year. That's the game that puts us in the playoffs or it doesn't put us in the playoffs. And that was the time where we needed him to come through the most. And he kind of shrunk in the background. And, I love the guy, but I'm just waiting for seeing that being able to elevate us in meaningful moments more often. Now, the Baltimore game was awesome. Of course it was awesome. I mean, that was one of the best games we've seen in a decade. But, again, he had the opportunity on Sunday night to drive the ball down the field and put the game away, and he just kind of slinks in the background. So I just don't know.
And I'll tell you this, guys. I thought I caught the first glimpse of what Tua could do and be in the Arizona game his rookie year.
That was it.
And ever since then, I've been waiting for that again, and I saw it against Baltimore, and I saw it against Buffalo. Then he gets hurt, and I'm not me being an objective person. I think it's in him. I'm team Tua in the sense that you see me before the games like Tua time, whatever else. Now, if he falters, if he has another game like he did against Pittsburgh, another couple in a row, I'm gonna be like, damn, I was hoping, but it didn't happen. But if he gets back to that level, man, because we saw glimpses against Arizona, but then we saw it in those are big games. Baltimore on the road, and then Buffalo at home. I mean, those are big games. The concussion was really unfortunate. Now remember, I was at the Cincinnati game, so I can tell you guys like that group of now great city. I said it, amazing city, awesome fans. But dude, I've been to a lot of stadiums, college and pros, and I'm from New Jersey. I've been to New York games, Knicks, Rangers, Devil. Those fans in Cincy, man, they are in unison. They're loud as hell. Like McDaniel, we've talked about this. I think Phil or somebody brought it up. John, we've talked about this. We should have took the ball first, but Tua was looking pretty good up until he made the bad decision that got him hurt. But like, we've all seen glimpses. We all want to see him put it together in multiple games. I think we all agree that we've seen it and we want to see more. Where we may differ, some of us, is like we haven't seen it consistently enough. I have doubts. And other people are like, I know the potential's there. I'm waiting for it to take off. Now, John, I look like you're going to say something, so go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just finish up by saying that I expect a quarterback of the Miami Dolphins with this defense behind it to do a lot better than what I'm seeing. I'm seeing serviceable. I'm seeing average. I'm not seeing the type of quarterback I would expect to see with a defense that is just shutting down folks for 3 quarters every game. By the fourth quarter, they're exhausted. They've been on the field all game most of the time. And, it's just, I think it's a real shame to our defense that honestly that Tua's a quarterback. We should be winning by a lot more. And that's really my pushback here is we have a phenomenal defense, guys, a phenomenal defense.
We do.
And we're so hung up on this quarterback and we're getting 16, 20 points a game. It's not acceptable to me. That's where I'm at.
And I'll say this too, and I will say this. Josh Boyer, let's give him his flowers because this team is decimated in the secondary and they are still holding teams to under 24 points a game, basically. Josh Boyer deserves his flowers, and I think the offense needs to step up. I agree. I do think Tua will do it, though. I think it was rust in Pittsburgh. Now, that'll change if it's not. Like, if next week he lays a stinker and it's 20 points again, then I'll come up here and say I have my doubts because you guys know me. I'll evolve as the information comes in. I think he can do it, but I think Detroit's going to tell us a lot because here's why. And I'll let CB. I'll let whoever wants to. You know what? Just whoever I see first. I'm gonna say. So Shake, I'm gonna go to you after this, and then I'll go around to whoever. I think Detroit's a great test. Here's why. Detroit has a terrible defense and a pretty potent offense when they're on. So our defense may be struggling with their backs to the wall on the road, and their defense is not good. So our offense may have to win the game for us. I want to see if our defense is against the wall, if our offense can put up the points they should, just like every other team that beat Detroit this year, sans one did, and beat them. And I'll tell you what, if Detroit's offense sticks our defense down and puts their foot on their neck, and our offense can't pull it out for us, I'm not going to be blaming the defense because the defense has done its job and the defense is hurt. I will not be blaming the defense if the offense can't pull this victory out. That's my 2 cents. You're free to disagree. Shake, take it, and then I'm gonna give it to the rest of the floor. Shake, go ahead.
I just want to say, when I first met you, Larry, I told you I make no bones about it. I'm a pro Flores guy. I wish he was here. I wish him and Tua would have squashed the beef because at the end of the day, there's plenty of coworkers who I dislike, but I told them at the end of the day, look, we're here working together. We're co-workers, and we need to accomplish one goal. And I wish that's what Flores and Tua would have done, but shitting on one hand, wishing the other. That's another story. All I know is that I think that this defense is in good hands, and I hope that Tua eventually will get the chemistry and spread the ball around. So I like this team, man. I really do. And you know what I mean? There's, like you said, I'm a fan. There's nothing I could do. I don't run the front office. All I could do is cheer or boo. That's it.
That's it, bro. That's all I could do.
All right, so who else wants to answer kind of the Detroit question I just posed, man? I think it's a loaded question, man. So CB, I'm gonna give you the floor. You're the special guest, my bro. I hope you come back on regularly anyway, but you're the special guest. So, bro, what do you think of that? I'm gonna go to Phil. I'm gonna go to John, Mountie. I'm gonna go to Greg. But
hey, give me the synopsis of your question again, real quick.
So my thing was, at this point, man, Detroit has a terrible defense and a potent offense. Our defense is banged up. This is a type of game where if Detroit puts their foot on the neck of our defense and our defense is struggling, I expect our offense against a bad Detroit defense to win the game for us. I'm not going to blame the defense if they get banged up a little in this game because that could happen. The offense should dominate Detroit's defense. I expect the offense to pull this game out regardless of what happens. What's your thought?
Yeah, and I'm with you on that. I think at this point in the season and where we are defensively, with Brandon Jones going to IR, with cornerbacks banged up, I think Mike McDaniels has to figure it out this week. Like he's gotta figure out how to get the offense going this week, because we just can't do much more of this winning to this barely getting by winning. Like we gotta, on this streak right here, on this 4-game streak where we have lesser competition, we gotta find a way to get the offense going and get the momentum swinging, where we're just clicking on all cylinders like by week 12, 13. And that's where we really need to be. Like when we go to that West Coast trip, we need to be a well-oiled machine. Like we need to be firing on all cylinders offensively, and then our defense can slowly catch up and get back to where they were health-wise, and we should be ready to roll into the playoffs at that point. I mean, you're in November, you're in December games, you're in meaningful football. At that point, you're playing for home field advantage. You're playing, for meaningful things. So the offense has got to get going on this stretch, and that's what I'm hoping to see versus Detroit. Is Tua get going? Edmonds get the confidence back. He gets his groove back, and we just start moving, man. And that's what it's about. This offensive line's gotta play like mean and play lights out, man, during this stretch. I mean, they just gotta get it going.
Agreed, bro. All right, so Phil, you look like you're nodding your head. Let's put you on. What's your take on what I said? CB, I agree with you, bro. I think we're all on that page, man. So let's see Phil, what you got to say, bro?
Yeah, I liked a lot of the things that CB had to say. What I really think that we need to show, maybe not this week in particularly, but moving forward, is that the offense needs to start working. We can't just throw the ball to Tyreek. We can't just throw the ball to Jalen on every play. We got to get the run game going. We've had several times where it seemed like the run game was starting to go, and then we just abandoned it. We got to get Chase Edmonds going. He's been pretty bad lately. We got to figure out, how are we going to get the ball to Gesicki? Who are we going to get the ball to in the red zone? I mean, I'm so tired of these 50, 60, 70-yard drives that just go to die in the, 15-yard line, 10-yard line, things like that. So I'll be interested to see what we do against Detroit's bad defense. But what I really want to see is I want to see the offense start working better. I just don't think it's working very well right now. And that being said, I'm going to have to sign off and put my kiddos to bed. So thanks for having me.
My brother.
Yeah, all right.
Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate you, Phil.
CB, do you have a podcast or something I can look up?
Yeah. Check me out, man. It's Finn's Take with CB83. It's on YouTube, man. Check me out.
I'll check it out.
Everybody subscribe to him, by the way, and hopefully CB
Thanks, man.
return the favor, subscribe to us, but send everybody over there, bro. Everybody subscribe to his channel, bro.
Hey, night.
Posted
night.
Take care, guys.
CB, post your link in the chat, man. Post your link.
Okay, I'll do that. Yeah.
John, what's your thoughts, bro, on what I said about Detroit?
So I'm really expecting Tua to go off. However, I've laid some blame on him, but we also got to look at the coaching here. And my worry with Detroit, we should win, and we should win by a lot. I am frankly not even worried about it, which is an unusual feeling. So I have a real feeling we're going to just destroy them. However, we've had a questionable coaching call in that last game where we were up by 6 and we could have went up by 2 scores, and we went for it on 4th down. I'm kind of, I think that could be an Achilles heel. If something were to go wrong, I mean, I think Tua is going to go off. I actually think our defense is going to do fine. But that coaching call, man, that if that's a reoccurring thing, that could really hurt us, especially against a team like the Steelers.
Oh, I'll be right back.
Sorry, what's going on here? I just
that
hear
Jamaican music.
Yeah, I don't know what was popping. John, finish your thought.
That was me. My bad.
Finish your thought, John.
So no, I mean, yeah, I think we handled Detroit, but I mean, frankly, I'm a little worried about some of our coaching decisions, and is that going to freaking bite us in the butt? I mean, are we going to really go for it on 4th down again when we could go up by 2 scores? I hope that's a lesson learned. So yeah, that's my thoughts there.
And I just gotta pause the little thing because I gotta just give a warm friggin' welcome to our Florida Fury fan member, Bleezy38. Bro, what is up, Bleez?
Fury fan.
Fury
Hey,
fan.
mount it. Hey,
your mind, bro.
Hey, but you gotta mount Muty, man. Mount him.
What's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on, family?
What up, man?
Fury fam. Man, I literally just got on like a few minutes ago, so I'm not exactly sure 100% what the topic is, but I'll jump right in.
So, Bleez, I was saying this. I was saying, we could all go back and forth as much as we want on offense, defense, who wins us games, who loses us games, whatever. Detroit's coming up, Bleez. And Detroit has a terrible defense and a potent offense. So, if our defense, who's banged up as hell, gets kicked around a little bit by a decent offense, I expect our offense to win us the game. No excuses. I'm not blaming the defense. I expect our offense against that pathetic defense to win the game no matter what happens to our defense, because our defense is banged up and their offense is good. Our offense needs to win this game for us. That's my thought. What's your pick?
Okay, no, hey, our offense should win this game for us. That should not be a problem, But evidently, it's kind of a problem because we haven't been scoring that many points. But we are so due to put a full game together. Is what I thought we put a full game together last week, but we didn't. But Detroit has only scored 6 points the past 2 games. I saw that earlier today. I was like, okay, what's up with that?
They fell off a little bit. I mean, I don't think Goff is a very good quarterback. I don't think they're a very good team. I'm just saying, if their offense were to go off, I wouldn't take it so much on our D being so banged up and their offense being capable. We've seen
No, they could pop off, but I think our defense is our strong suit.
I agree with. But they're banged up. We just lost Brandon Jones. Just he believes for the year.
No, I know that sucks. So we're going to replace him with Eric Rowe, right?
Which isn't a bad backup.
Which is good depth. That's good depth right there. Yeah. And so I think we're solid. I think we're going to have to rely. It's funny you say that about we're going to have to. Our offense needs to win the game because I was thinking, we're going to have to rely on our defense again to win this game. But our offense should win the game, man. We should dominate on offense, man. We should be powerful. I like the way our O-line is playing, and so I'm expecting a win, man. Let's get it.
I like Bleez's energy in general. And by the way, I think the current lineup with Shell over there instead of Little and with Armstead back is looking pretty damn good. I like Shell. With it. Yes, I like that kid too a lot, man.
Yeah.
CB, you see anything with Shell with the O-line play on film that you think made a difference?
Yeah. I think he's been consistent. I mean, I think last game he played well. I think the O-line in general played pretty well. They kept Tua pretty clean all game. I think just trying to find a way to get that run game going, man. I think that's going to be important. We gotta be able to run the football. I think it's going to open up the play action and just help us get guys more open. And I'd like to see McDaniel get a little bit, more creative with guys. Like you got to use Tyreek in some different aspects. Put him on jet sweeps. Put Waddle on jet sweeps. Like run guys in different ways. And I don't know if he's not willing to open up the playbook or what, but it just seems like he's holding something back, as a result of it. Just seems like he's not trying to put a lot on film for some reason.
Right. It's almost like a strategy. It's almost like he's setting something up, or he's trying to set something up, right?
Yeah. It's just it's weird to me because it seems like we have very explosive players like Tyreek,
Uh-huh.
Waddle. They could all make explosive plays, but it just seems like he doesn't pull that stuff out until he really needs to. And we saw that in a Baltimore game. It's like, fuck, I'm down 20 points. Let's just let the shit rock. Let's let it roll
And
and
then
let's
he
see
cut
what
loose.
happens. And then
Even
he cut
Cedric Wilson,
loose.
even Cedric Wilson has the ability to make explosive plays.
Yeah. And he has the ability to throw the football. So if you run a reverse or something, give him the ball, he could do a crazy pass or something like that. I just think we haven't seen the tip of the iceberg with McDaniels. I think he's
I
slowly
agree.
rolling stuff out, and it'll happen as it happens.
Hey, on that, I know everybody was ready to crucify McDaniels when he went on it in that 4th and 3rd, and as did I. I wanted to fucking punch him in his head for doing that, for going on 4th and 3rd. However, after I was humbled and watched the all 22, if you look at it, had Chase Edmonds ran the ball how it was supposed to be run, he probably could have scored. He would
That's what
have
I've
got the
heard.
first. He got the first. He would have got the first down, no problem. But he possibly could have took that shit to the house.
But here's my thing: why is he running that play with Edmonds when Mostert's the best? Like he ain't gonna hit the hole the way you designed it. So put the right personnel in. That's what got me, man. I just didn't like 2 in a row with that dude. I just didn't like it.
Yeah, and I think he's thinking Edmonds is the downhill short yardage guy. So hey, I'm gonna give the ball to him. But Mostert he hasn't been that short yardage guy, but he just finds a way to get those yards, those extra yards.
I really haven't gone back and looked at that, but I've heard multiple people say if he would have cut left, it would have been a touchdown all day. Is what I've heard.
I think that Tua should have been passing in that situation, frankly.
Well, yeah. No, that's what I think so too. But
No, but that was a good play by McDaniel. I must apologize to McDaniel. If you saw the all 22, dude, Chase, had he bounced it out, that was a touchdown, possibly a big play.
That's what I heard. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Look at the all 22 when you get a chance.
So if he bounced left, he would have scored. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, so it was the right play.
That's in personnel in there. I think does matter. It's interesting that you say that though, because there was another play to Tyreek. It was over the middle, and it looked like Tyreek slowed down a little bit, and then Tua. It looked like Tua's timing was perfect, but Tyreek slowed down and it just missed. I actually think that one could have went. Potentially that's Tyreek. That could have went for a touchdown pretty easily. So, I'm still not happy with McDaniel's play calling there and actually going for it. I think that was a field goal opportunity, regardless. I don't think you risked it. And so that's my issue with it.
And it's starting to also look like. Go ahead, CB.
I just think it's a different time, guys. I think when you look at offense and the way they play offense in NFL, I think gone are the days where, no matter what, on 4th down, you're kicking a field goal. That used to be the standard, like all the time. Like, hey, if it's 4th and 4, 4th and 3, we got opportunity to go up 2 scores. You just imagine if you get the first down there, you score a touchdown, the game's pretty much over at that point. You don't even have to worry about it. I understand, like, hey, you want the field goal, you can go up 2 scores, but what if you could go up 3 scores? Like, it's 3 yards. That's yards right. To go up 3 scores.
I don't know about you guys. I wasn't worried about Pittsburgh's offense at all. Not with their defense out there. I just felt like
that wasn't the case for me. I wasn't there. I was worried.
I'm not against the 4th down, but I'm against the play call. 2 in a row wasn't working. Edmonds has not been running well. If you're going to go for it on 4th down, don't just half-ass 4th down, call the same exact play, run it up the gut, lose it by 2-3 yards. Come on now.
But you guys got to understand this. These guys have multiple eyes. They have multiple sets of eyes on every single play, right? So they have the coaches looking at the play. They have 4 guys in the booth looking at the play. And if Chase Edmonds runs the ball the first time, and then they say, damn, if you would have ran that shit to the outside, run it to the left, it's a fucking touchdown. And they get in the same formation and they do it again. Like, and he doesn't do it. Is it on the coach or is it on the player?
I mean, they should know if the player didn't hit the first time, at least say in the headset to the quarterback, tell that dude to hit left.
And
But they didn't do that.
Yeah. Right. And I understand that. But if you're thinking, hey, you got to hit this area, don't hit that area. Like, tell them to go this way. Don't go that way, because it's an opportunity there. Yeah,
Guys,
I get it.
It's fourth down. That could have cost us the game easily. Going up by 2 scores would have made a world of difference for our defense. I mean,
it would have been
we
over.
almost lost the game right there.
I mean, almost don't count in football. I mean, almost don't count in football. But I get what you're saying. Almost don't count. I don't live in an almost world. I understand what you're saying. We made a play late that secured the game. Noah made a play, and
I mean, 2 interceptions.
And that's what you want. You want adversity to hit. You want your coach to say, "God damn it, I made a bad call, but my defense is gone. They're gonna figure it out." Noah made a play for the coach and saved his ass. Now, coach can go to Noah and be like, "Yo, I appreciate that. I took a chance on offense. It bit me in the ass. You came up and made a play for me. I appreciate that. That's big time. I love you for that." And it makes them a better. It makes them a better unit as a result of it.
That is part of it too. Like belief in your defense is almost as much belief in your offense when you make those 4th down calls. I'm not. Hey, look, I hated the call. I'm not defending it. I didn't like it. I don't think it was a great call, one way or the other. But I do understand you do have faith in your defense as much as your offense when you make those calls. I do want to see McDaniel make some better, well-placed calls going forward, just like I want to see Tua stay as consistent as he was in the first 3 games. Because if we don't, we're not going to be contending anyway. So I think we all know that.
So does the offense starting to look like a Tyreek Hill show?
I don't
like
think
you know,
so.
three, 2 out of 3 passes are going to fucking Tyreek Hill, and we're starting to get. We're starting to get. Hold on, CB. He 2 out of 3 passes go to Tyreek Hill, and we're starting to get predictable, and people are starting to bracket Tyreek Hill, and kind of shade to Waddle. So I'm like, it's really starting to look like Tyreek Hill. He's got to get the ball. Like he's got to get the ball.
Like
he's a $30 million man. You don't pay Tyreek $30 million not to give him the fucking ball. I would force feed him the ball too. You don't give him $30 million to be a decoy. He's the most electric. He's the most electric player in the NFL.
He's getting the work, though. He's getting the work.
I get it, but I'm saying you're going to risk turnovers. You're going to risk turnovers like that.
Hey, you risk it. Hey, no risk it, no biscuit. Huh? That's the game right there. No risk it, no biscuit, bro.
Well, Tyreek
you get the ball to your guy.
And remember, Tyreek's the leading receiver in this league right now, so I can't really hate on that until he starts getting so blanket. Now, look, Tua made some questionable throws in that game, not all to Tyreek. He made them in general. If we get to a point where he's making forced throws to Tyreek all the time and resulting in actual turnovers, I agree. But until then, you feed the number 1 receiver in the league. You let that man make his plays, and then you take your Waddle and you take your Gesicki, and hopefully you take your Sherfield, and hopefully you get Wills. You take your guys where you can get them. I'm not mad about the force feeding until it becomes an actual tangible problem where they're getting points off it or we're missing opportunities because of it. Until then, I'm with it. That's all I'm saying. And RD just joined the stream too, so let me just let RD say his piece too. RD, what's on your mind, bro? What's on your mind?
Hey guys, it must be Wednesday. It's good to see everybody. That game, dude, I was so excited that first quarter. It was like, yo, it's like he just picked up exactly where he left off in the Ravens game. And then after that, it was everybody making mistakes not on the defensive side, because defense has been lights out the last 2 games. It's just like last year. I guess the second half, or this time around, is a little bit earlier than the second half. But it looks like they're getting it's a shame we got the injury with Brendan, but they're getting their rhythm, and guys are getting their confidence. And I think we've gotten better play out of the middle linebackers, and now we're really going to be tested because of the running that we're going to be facing the next 3 out of the 4 games. It's going to be just good running attacks Detroit. Good all lines that we're going to be facing. So we're going to be tested. But to me, it was like everybody was making mistakes. Tua was making his mistakes after the first quarter. The coaching, the play calling, individuals were dropping balls. I mean, come on, Chase Edmonds, Gesicki, these guys have been big question marks the entire year as far as consistency, and they're just not doing themselves any favors to returning to the squad next year, right? So right now I'm glad that we got to win, but it was one of those games you were so excited the first quarter, then you're just shocked how we got that win, because if you're relying on Noah Benogany to seal it for you, dude, wow, something fell amiss, and would have a totally different feel right now if we had lost that game to Kenny freaking Pickett.
No, I agree. And by the way, I just want to say real quick before anybody responds, I'm posting CB's channel link in the chat here. So go ahead and click that and smash the subscribe button on his channel. He's growing, man, and he's a Fins fan, and he's got a new element to the whole thing, a new brand, a new perspective, and we should all be rocking with it, man. So go ahead and smash the subscribe button, man.
Hey, don't nobody want to follow CB. CB, you my man. You my man, man. You know that.
Mounty's my guy. Mounty always come through and show love, man. I love it, man.
Oh yeah. So now to RD's point, man, we all kind of rehashed. There were some mistakes, but we won. I mean, we won against the Steelers. They had a lot of terrible, stupid towels in the freaking arena, which was annoying. We beat them. It wasn't pretty, but we did get the win. We're above 500. We're still in contention. Now the question becomes, can we sustain it? Can we step up our game? Can we clean up things, polish things up, hit our stride better to make a
now
run?
Now we go on the road. Now we go on the road, right?
Yes.
And like I said before, this isn't college. Style points don't count.
That's right.
Yeah. So
and I think this team may. Yeah, and I think this team may be a better road team than they are our home team, man. I think so, man. I just think the way we played in Baltimore, I feel like it's more a business approach when we're away. So I think on the road, we're a little bit better than we are.
We got more fans on the road, bro.
It's kind of
crazy.
It was kind of crazy what happened down there with the Steelers fans. I didn't see, actually, all year, to be honest, I've been impressed with the crowds in South Florida. They've been loud. They've been mostly aqua. I've been impressed. And then this was the first game where I saw a lot of opposing fans, which happens everywhere in the country.
are hardcore like that.
That's true, though, bro. That's why I'm not holding it against anybody. Like, when we show up to MetLife against the Jets, we have the MetLife takeover every year. We show out, and you could hear us, too, and Jets fans get mad. So it happens around the country. I'm not really holding it against anybody. The South Florida fan base has been very good this year, to be honest. But it was kind of crazy. There's a lot of Steelers fans, and I have heard, and there's certain teams that do play well on the road. And at the end of the day, it's because they go to the hotel together, they fly together, they practice together. There's no outside home distractions.
Right.
But we've been playing good at home too. I think our record with 2 at home is like 10-3 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, so
I prefer to be at home, but we're about to go Detroit, Chicago. That's a little 2-game stretch.
A little Midwest Great Lakes trip, man. And I think both games are easily winnable. Like, lose either of those games, and I'm going to be looking to call somebody out.
Yeah, we need to win both.
I think that's fair.
Right?
Because then we come home to the Browns and the Texans at home.
And I'm not saying that you have to beat every single team or you suck, because obviously the NFL has a lot of parity. But at the end of the day, you're 4-3. You've got to make a run. There's other teams in the AFC, including teams like the Jets. And on the other side of the conference, the Giants, who don't have anything to do with us, but are like, you can make runs. So we better be capitalizing on teams that we should be beating if we want to make a run.
Right.
And we got to make a run with this talent.
Because we just lost our cushion by losing to the Vikings and the Jets.
Yes. So you got to build that back up.
Right now we're facing some really shit quarterbacks, right? And I hope our D line, and I know we lost Brendan Jones, but I just hope our defense understands they don't have to overcommit anymore, because they fell prey to that in the past versus good quarterbacks. And I think since the Minnesota game, I think they found their groove. And I think now it's like, and they showed snippets of that versus the Jets, but again, the top fell off because the bottom fell off because we weren't executing offensively as well.
And remember this
But
too: the Jets are not bad. They just lost Brees Hall, but they're 5-2 now. Whether they're good or bad, they're a formidable adversary in our division that we better catch up to and keep pace with. There's no excuse not to. They're playing the Pats. That could go either way, but I bet they beat the Pats if they're in any way consistent. And if they lose, then they shouldn't be touting their own horn that they're good. I mean, good teams start to string together wins against teams they should beat at the midpoint of the season. And after Thanksgiving, they really start to string those wins together because that's what separates the playoff contenders from the pretenders. So I'm not saying we have to win every game, but I'm saying we better start stringing some victories together against teams we're more talented than if we want to be serious at the end of the year.
That's right.
Yeah. And I think Detroit's definitely winnable. I think Chicago's a good football team. I mean, I'm not gonna say we're gonna they should be in the game with us, but they're a good football team. We should definitely win that game too, but it's the NFL, guys, and that's what I want you to understand is that nothing is guaranteed. You go out there and you play, you line up, and you hope you can win the game. You better come and execute, or if not, you're gonna get your ass beat. That's right. That's just the way of the game.
Hey, CB, what do you think the spread will be when we play Chicago in Chicago? You have a guess, probably roughly.
I'm not a big spread guy, but I think they'll have us winning by probably.
We'll say
a touchdown.
Right now we're 3.5. We're 3.5 over Detroit in Vegas.
So I think they have us 3.5 over Chicago too, probably.
That's about the same.
I don't know. I think Chicago will be maybe a point over, or we'll be 2.5, something stupid. Because if we're only 3.5 over Detroit on the road, how the hell are we going to be more than that over Chicago? I still think we need to beat both, but I think Chicago's better than Detroit.
Chicago's definitely better than Detroit.
I'm just looking at this right now. Dallas is a 9.5 point favorite over Chicago.
Yeah, but they're playing at home though, right?
At Dallas, yeah, it's at Dallas.
Yeah.
So Larry, I'm glad you said something about the Jets, and the fact that they have a better record than us right now. They've already beat us in one game, and then we have to see them, I think, in week 17. This is a typical Dolphin season. We're probably going to go on a bit of a run here. We'll lose a few games. It's going to come down to the last one. It might be us or the Jets who's getting in the playoffs.
It could be.
I think. Well, I don't think that's the case. I think that's the difference between last year's teams and this year's team. I think this year's teams find a way to get in the playoffs before week 16, 17, 18. I think we clinch early to where we don't have to rely on the last damn game. I think that's the type of team we have this year as opposed to the teams we've had the past 2 years.
Well, if we clinch early, that means we beat out either the Jets or the Bills. And, both of them they're better than us right now. And they got a game up in the division, ahead.
I don't think the Jets are better than us. I think they caught us on a good day where we didn't have our
We'll beat the Jets at home.
I think we're going to beat the Jets and lose to the Bills. I'll tell you that right now.
Right. I agree.
I think we beat the Jets.
I
think we beat the Jets and we beat the Bills. Let's go.
Okay, bro.
You think the division's still in play? You think the division's still in play then?
Hell yeah, shit. I'm going to win the division. I'm not talking about no damn wild card. Let's go get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, technically speaking, right now, when you look at our schedule, right, the only team that we're scared of is the Bills because it's over there and it's the Bills. But other than that, there isn't a single team that I'm looking at. I'm like, oh my God, how are we going to beat this team? Oh my God, I really have no chance here, right?
First of all, preseason, everybody thought the AFC West was going to be this crazy division. The only team out there that's really playing good football is the Chiefs. The Chargers are average right now. Vegas looks like shit. It's like if the Broncos are terrible. It's like y'all thought this division was going to clean house, and they look like the worst division in football right now.
Same thing with the North, bro. Same thing with the
We
North.
should get a wild card, right? We'll probably get that wild card.
Oh yeah, we're
better.
definitely
A game on the road.
If we don't get a wild card
in
game,
cold
there's
weather,
problems.
probably.
Nah, if we don't make the playoffs this year,
There's
I'm
problems.
sorry, but there's just
have
like
to
there's no
win.
excuse. And I know we lost all of our games when Tua wasn't there, and I'm counting the Cincinnati game because he left when the game was tied.
Yeah.
It is still not an excuse. I don't care. It's
RD.
because the teams that we're facing right now, these are the teams that you have to beat. Don't
Yes.
come up with an
That's right.
excuse. Oh,
True.
because of this and that happened a month ago. No,
RD.
if you
Agreed.
can be, yeah.
You gotta find a way.
We have to go
Agreed.
8-3 is the magic number. I think we have to
I
go
agree.
8-3 from this point on.
I
We can
agree.
do
Oh
that.
I
no,
agree.
no, I'm sorry. 7-3. 7-3.
Yeah, I mean, you factor in the Bills, that's a loss, and then you
We
get
can
two
afford
other
3
teams.
losses.
Bro, that's
Yeah,
not a loss. Why are you guys counting these as losses? What are you doing?
I
See,
just
here's
think
the
we're, I
Where'd he
just
beat
predict,
him?
I just
Where'd he
predict we're
beat
gonna
him?
beat the lose.
We can
I
beat
hope we
Buffalo.
do.
Hey man,
It's in Buffalo.
everybody counting us out of Buffalo already, man. That's
Right.
We
whack.
might
I
be
think
the
that's
only
what
team
hey,
that beat
that's how we
Buffalo.
roll. That's how the Dolphins
Listen,
roll.
listen,
Let's see,
listen. First of
but
all, first of all,
Monty,
Buffalo.
let me get it after you too.
Go ahead,
Hey,
man.
let me tell you something. First off, Buffalo don't have no running game. Their running game is through Josh Allen. So
Yeah.
we gonna do just similar what we did the last time. Make that motherfucker a dink and dunk. Make them have to make 12, 13, 14 plays to try to score.
Talk to them.
Yeah, and we don't even honestly the way Josh Allen is running the football, we don't even know if he's gonna make it there. So he better make it there. That's
Don't
for
even
sure.
say that. Come on. Don't
He
even.
better
I mean, no,
he
we gotta worry
better
about Tua making it there, not Josh Allen. He'll be
Josh Allen
fine.
better make it there.
He'll be
So
fine.
and when you look at what we're doing, we have an electric player in Tyreek Hill. We have an electric player in Waddle. We have a guy that you could give the football and get you a touchdown. We just got to find a way to kind of get these guys open in the offense and just keep it together, man. Because I mean, how many teams on offense have two guys like Waddle and Tyreek? Not many. But,
Nobody.
But if you could find a way to get these guys the ball in the open field, let them do
Well,
work.
that's
man.
what we've been saying all year. You know, how come McDaniel hadn't put that together? You know,
I know, and that's what we're waiting on. But we saw it in Baltimore, right? Second half.
we saw Tua ball out in Baltimore.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Damn right. But
We were running past them dudes.
Hell yeah.
Dude, the Giants, see the thing about the Baltimore game now is when the Giants come back and beat you with Daniel Jones, like all of a sudden now, it's like I'm telling you, I'm glad that we beat the Bills the way we beat the Bills, and that shows moxie, right? But we've seen this team the last 2 years, the Miami Dolphins, man, and it's like you need to give me, you know, the playoffs this year, and you need to show up in the playoffs at least one game for me to be like, okay, you know what, this is for real now. Because I'm just speaking truth right now. Like we are all hopeful, but until we see it when it matters, right?
Hey, look.
It's
I
all
get
up
what
in
you're
the
saying.
air.
There's some work to be done.
Nobody in their right mind thought we were beating Buffalo. Nobody on this panel thought we were beating Buffalo. I would have lined up.
Defense,
I
that's
thought
true.
we could beat them.
I predicted we
I
beat
thought,
Buffalo.
and I said
But the way we
predictions-
beat them, no way, man.
In my preseason
Props to
predictions,
Larry.
though, go back. I predicted we beat Buffalo.
Look,
I predicted we lose
right.
to Baltimore, but I predicted we beat Buffalo. Just saying.
But nobody thought that we would be, and we scrapped with Buffalo. We went toe to toe with them, and it was a game where we fought, and it wasn't like a fluke. It was like we just played good football. We lined up, we smashed them, they smashed us at times, and we got it done. So I think that's the difference between this year's team and last year's team. Is that we didn't have a team who would just fight like that last year. I mean, nobody was
been the same since we went toe to toe with them. Man, that was a beautiful game, but we have not been the same since.
Yeah, we got banged up.
Yeah, we're banged up for sure. I mean, we're dropping like flies. I mean, and that's why I hope there's some moves made. Hopefully, Greer does something, man. We need some help for sure.
Help in the secondary. Does
I just
anybody
want to
think?
say one thing
Yeah,
real quick
go ahead.
about the Buffalo game. The reason why we won that Buffalo game is if you look at last year, one thing that John said earlier in his arguments is that we kept going 3 and out, and our defense got tired. Last year, we were toe-to-toe with them all the way into the fourth quarter, just like in the Minnesota game and then in the Jets game. This year, Tua wasn't going 3 and out. So it
Moving
gave
the
our
ball.
defense a chance to rest a little bit. So
Yeah.
that was the big difference. We weren't going 3 and out when we played Buffalo. As a matter of fact, we had 6 drives, and out of those 6 drives, 3 of them were touchdowns. So that, I think, was another big component into why we beat Buffalo.
And I think that's the difference between last year's offense and this year's offense. I think this offense is just much more efficient. Like, we may not be scoring a bunch of points, but we're going to get some first downs and move the ball and make them play defense, as opposed to our defense just being tired and it constantly being 3-and-outs. So I think it puts us in a better position, but we'll find a way to score touchdowns. It's going to come. I think it's just going to take a little time, man. And hopefully on the stretch we get it together.
I think our offense is making the strides like week in and week out. It's just we've had bad luck just because of the injuries and because of the inopportune. I mean, the penalties have been stupid, right? But the inopportune, drops from certain people. But I think you can see the flashes are there, and once we put them in a consistent basis, and they can, they have the skill set to do it. They have the play callers to call it up. They have the personnel. They have the chemistry. I mean, these guys are going to get it done. It's a matter of, like, we need a little bit of, let's not face the best teams back-to-back weeks, right? Let's face some struggling teams. Let's not shoot ourselves in the foot with idiotic penalties, one after the other, when we have a rookie quarterback throwing the ball. Let's not be injured, like go through 3 quarterbacks in one game. Like, let's just do the normal stuff, and I'm sure we're going to start getting the wins. Like, that first quarter was pretty much what we expect out of this team. Every time they have the ball is to dominate because of the skill set they have. So,
anybody think? Go ahead.
And I think a key aspect to understand in regards to offense and defense, offenses, as a coach, I know this, and offenses will always start out slower than defenses for the most part. I mean, that's just, they're always trying to catch up. There's a lot of cohesion that needs to happen. And with guys being injured and not being able to play, it just creates more of a dynamic where they're falling behind. But now, as they get healthy, as they play together, as they get together as a unit, I think we'll see the offense become a lot more efficient. It's just going to take them playing together, having that time, having that cohesion, and they'll get it together, and they'll start sneaking up on defenses and just, making some explosive plays, I think, because now that you're in the offense and now that you have all your guys, you can kind of work together and trying to get that cohesion and get that chemistry and start taking off at this point.
Yeah, and CB, we actually have to expect that with how loaded we are on this team is so talented all over the place despite injury that we expect this team to really get it together and start taking off. So and that's actually something I think different about this year is I think we can all see the potential. And that's one reason why, I'm getting pretty disappointed with some of these losses because I see the potential in this team and I'm not understanding why it's not coming all out. So hopefully they just need a little bit more time to get it going and we're hanging 40 points a game because I look across that division over at Buffalo and Buffalo's having no problem scoring 40 points a game. They're pretty darn consistent with that. It's amazing. And I'm jealous. And, I'm not asking for too much, but maybe we can start with 25 and then climb up. So, CB, I hope you're right, man. We got to put together. We got to get to that level of scoring. We got to do much better.
Yeah. You're right. I like it, but we did beat them, dude. So you may be looking at them like, oh, you're jealous, but we beat them,
Super
dude.
Bowl
So I look at
favorites,
them
man,
like,
and we ain't.
I don't give a damn what they are. They could be favorites all they want to, but you're only as good as your last game, so they still got to line it up. We play again, so we'll see.
Yeah. Anybody think this guy has anything to do with our win the other day? He was back in action. He was back in
Bob
the booth.
Ross.
Freaking Magoo.
Did you
was
coin
back
Mr.
there.
Magoo, Larry? Did you coin that?
Damn
Is that
right
your phrase?
I did, sir.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful. Yeah.
Just look at him. We'll just take a gander at this cat.
Hey, Larry.
He's in the.
Hey, Larry. True story. I was working. I do some contracting work, and I was working for a Steelers fan last week. He's wearing his jersey, and I was like, "Are you going to the game this weekend?" And he was like, "Oh, hell no, we suck." And I was like, Yeah, and I said, hey, what do you think about the Dolphins? He was like, I'll tell you what, I think. He said, I think the Dolphins owner needs to be put in jail. Is what I think. He did. That's exactly what he said. He started going off. He was like, that guy needs to be put in jail. I was
That's
like, oh
funny.
shit. Yeah, true story.
I
That's
love
what
it, bro.
that's
I
what
love
he
the
was thinking.
anecdotes. I love the stories. But listen, guys, this was an awesome panel. This was an awesome
Hey,
discussion as
awesome.
always, man. We about to get ready to go destroy Detroit, man. Everybody enjoy it, but we're gonna do final
Yeah.
thoughts as we always do. I'm gonna put you solo on the screen. RD, final thought, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, guys, great show. Good to be part of it again. My final thoughts are simple. As long as I see Tua ball out like he's supposed to, I know once and for all that like we're gonna be in really good hands moving forward. Listen, the injuries are gonna be part of it. It is what it is. That's why you have a competent backup that you're grooming in our beautiful guy Skyler. But Tua needs to show up. I don't want to see almost 4 picks. You know what I mean? I need him to be in rhythm this week, and I need him to ball out versus Detroit because they struggle defensively. And no excuses. That's a dome. You know what I mean? Light it up. You got the weapons. I just want to see some fireworks.
I hear you,
I'm with
RD,
you.
bro. Appreciate all that, man. We'll
Later,
see you
guys.
next week, my brother.
Thank-
Later. Please, final thought, my bro.
Fury family. Once again, love being back. Much love. It's always a good time Wednesday evenings. But what I think we're gonna have to rely on our defense again. Is what I think. I think our offense. I mean, I hope that we'll put a 40 burger up, but I think it's going to come down to our defense. I think we're going to pick golf off a couple of times, and we'll get this dub. Fins up.
Let's go, Bleeze. I love it. Everything
Nice.
about it. See you soon, Bleeze. Later.
All right.
All right, we're gonna John. Final thoughts, my bro.
All right, yeah. Thanks for having me, guys. I'd love to see Shake Hef out here. I mean, you do it right, man. So let's see that again next week. I definitely think we should beat the Lions. CB, thanks for letting me poke you a little bit about Tua.
Hey, yeah,
I hold
man.
strong on that. You love.
Hey, I love the Tua sexual comment too, man. I
Yeah,
love it.
hey, you gotta go for that. Yeah, so I do believe you are a Tua sexual, but you're also
I
a Miami
appreciate it.
Dolphin fan. So hey, we'll all get along. Yeah, with that said, I mean, love the show. I think we'll win, and I'm definitely eyeing that backup position. Where we at with Brett, Teddy, or Skyler? The Skyler moving in that QB2. I'm not as confident Tua is going to make it through all these games. I think we're going to see our backup again. So I'm curious who that is. Thanks for having me, guys. Take care.
Later, John.
Hey,
Fins
later,
up, brother.
John. Have a good one, man.
Mountie. Final thoughts.
Yo. Hey, first of all, hey, CB, I'm glad you back. You back safe, family safe.
Appreciate
I'm
it.
glad to hear your voice again. Hey, I can't wait for you to start running your channel again so we can agree to disagree all session long.
Hey, Friday
But,
night.
hey,
Friday night. I need all y'all to come through, man. Larry,
hey, you all will
Shake,
be there.
Mountie,
Hey,
Greg,
hey,
come through.
Hell yeah, and
hey,
I got his links in the comments, man.
look, I like our team. I like our team. I love our team. We just need to clean some stuff up. The penalties are killing us. We need to be more disciplined on offense and defense. And I predict a score of probably like 20, I say 28-17. So fins up.
Fins up, Mountie. We'll see
Fins
you soon,
up.
brother.
Fins
All right,
up.
peace,
Fins
y'all.
up.
Later, brother. CB, it's your
Yo.
time to shine, bro. And I put your so everybody subscribe to him, by the way. His link's in the
Hey,
thing.
appreciate
Final thoughts,
that.
bro.
Hey, I appreciate you guys having me, man. I love the opportunity to come up and talk Dolphins, man. This is what I'm passionate about, football, man. This is what I do. I love talking football, man. I love talking the ins and outs, the context of the game. So I appreciate you guys having me. It's always a great time. Shake, Larry, Greg, you guys do a fantastic job. This Dolphins team is capable. And when I say capable, they're capable of winning it all. But it takes a lot. It takes a little bit of luck. It takes guys being healthy. It takes, hey, you being able to make some plays that you usually don't make. And I think it could happen. I think this team is prime. They just got to find a way to put these wins together during this stretch. If we can rally off 3 to 4 wins on this stretch and then get out to the West Coast and win a couple, maybe even win one of those and lose one, I mean, I think we'll be all right, man. I think this team has the ability to be really good. I think they believe. I think that's a big part of it too. Just them having the confidence that they could go out and win big games. I think Buffalo showed them that. I think Baltimore showed them they were capable. So that's what you're seeing right now. In this Pittsburgh game, this could have easily been a game we lost and we laid down. Previous Dolphins team probably wouldn't have won this game. But I think now that these guys are confident and they feel like they could beat anybody, I think that's the difference. And I think that might get us over the hump this year into the playoffs and get us a playoff win, man. I think that's the difference.
I love it. And that makes sense to me, bro. So love that whole synopsis, man. I hope you join us again. I'll try to join you Friday night, man. Everybody subscribe. It was a great insight, and I hope we'll talk again soon. And let's get that dub this week, man, and then talk about a win. It's better to talk about wins than losses. So
for sure. Hey, appreciate you guys having me, man. You guys do a great job over here, man.
Thank you, sir. No doubt. We'll talk to you,
man. Shake.
Salute, brother. You know I'm gonna be there Friday, bro.
All right, later, bro. Appreciate you guys.
Fins up, brother. Have a good night.
Fins up.
Later. Greg, final thoughts, my bro?
Yo, I can't wait for this weekend. We got more Dolphins football coming up. Look, I'm worried about this game. I know DeAndre Swift, I have him on my fantasy team. I'm not sure if he's going to be playing. He was out the past 2 weeks. Definitely makes a difference that the Detroit Lions offense. If he plays, I think their offense will rebound. But again, they had a top offense. If it's a shootout, I still like Miami. We have better weapons. Their defense is worse than us. If it's a defensive game, I like our defense over their game. I would have gone 40 to 21, but I don't predict blowouts, especially with this offense and how we've not been putting up more than 20. I'm going to go with 17-14 Miami. 17-14 Miami over the Detroit Lions. A pick six by Noah Igbinoghene. 2 touchdowns from Tua, 1 interception.
Damn right.
It's going to be a great game.
I like it. All right, Greg. Well, bro, you're going to be texting me, I already know, during the game or after the game, so I'll talk to you then, and now I'll see you next Wednesday, my brother.
See ya.
Later, bro. Later. Hef, the great Hef, who has been smoking this fat cigar and with the robe and just killing it, doing his thing. Hef, final thoughts, man.
Before I get on my final thoughts, I just want to thank John and CBA3, that's the prime example on how you debate. But you don't want to smoke with me because I am a master debater. But anyway, before we get on my final thought, I just want to say this time next year I'm going to be working on getting my beginner sommelier. So I'm doing a Twitter Spaces on wine. The first week, Friday of the month, I'm doing wine. Second, I'm doing spirits. Third week, I'm doing fortified and sparkling. And the last one, I'm doing cocktails. Which next week on this channel, I will be debuting based off the Rusty Nail, the Rusty Tua. It's an original drink that
Oh shit!
And I said I'm not making fun of Tua. I'm just having fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just an original drink that I came up. I'm concocting myself. So I'm gonna debut it here next Wednesday. The Rusty Tua.
I love it, bro.
Final thoughts is I think Miami's gonna win 20-17. And here's my last thought. Listen, at the end of the day, if you didn't want to celebrate this Pittsburgh win, and I understandably right that you're upset because we didn't put points, but as there's an old saying, don't take away my gravy because you don't like mashed potatoes. That's all I gotta say. Be safe, my brother.
Love it, bro. Talk to you soon, my bro. So Shake always killing it. Everybody killed it tonight, as usual, man. On this channel, we debate properly. We give everybody a chance to make their point. We have a counterpoint. That's what we do. That's how we do it. That's how the channel functions. I hope you all enjoyed it. Fury Fam all day. If you have watched this show, but you have not yet, scroll just below it and click like. Or you have not, scroll just below it and click subscribe. Please click subscribe. there's a super donate button, a super thanks. It means you could thank the show and just donate a couple bucks. It helps the show. It helps me get all these bells and whistles, these graphics, have everybody come on. It helps the show. Donate what you can, subscribe when you can, send a like when you can. It's Fury Fam all day. We love being here. We love having objective, intellectual, polite, and cerebral conversations about our favorite team, the Miami Dolphins. I think we get the win this week. I think we beat Detroit. I'm going 34-21. I think our defense holds as best it can. I think Detroit gets a couple scores here and there. I think early on it's closer, but towards the end we pull away. I think our offense is going to be way too potent for their defense. That's how it should be. And if it's not that way, they're going to have some splaining to do, and we're going to talk about it right here on LG Shaking the Panel. Until next week, I'll see you guys with a review this Sunday. And until then, fins up, everybody else down. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy everything. I'm out. Fury Fan for life. Good night.
I know you heard me on the radio, flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K. I know you heard me on the radio, flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day.